And each year we are reminded just how big a price. 8 years ago, America changed forever. As a nation mourned, baseball was there to help bring us back together. Today we again reflect on what it means to be an American as we celebrate our freedom with America's game. And they're awake the other side of the globe in the middle of the night watching Twins baseball. And we're very happy to have an expanded audience here tonight as Joe Mauer and the Twins take the field for a critical series, critical game. Everything is very, very important now for the Twins as they find themselves behind the Detroit Tigers by plenty. The athletic batting order brought to you by Menards. Adam Kennedy leading things off. Speedy Rajai Davis hitting second. Ryan Sweeney, Kurt Suzuki, Jack Cusk, Mark Ellis, Derek Barton, Eric Patterson, and Cliff Pennington.
And for the third time this year, the Oakland A's will face Nick Blackburn, making his 29th start of the year. His last 4 starts have been very consistent, even though he has only one win, a very good 3.42 earned run average over his last 4 starts. And he is looking for his first career win against the Oakland A's. In 4 starts in his career, he's 0-1 with a 5.06 earned run average.
Adam Kennedy, the veteran, will lead things off. And Blackburn, who made 2 prior starts this year, both in their own way heartbreaking defeats, or non-victories we should say. And he'll have his 3rd and final shot at the A's here tonight. First pitch outside, ball 1. Blackburn trying to even his record on the season at 10-10. 2-0.
Well, Blackburn leading the staff in innings pitched with 175 1/3. Very good walk to innings pitch ratio. 39 walks in 175 innings pitched. And he does not want to walk that leadoff hitter.
Well, that's what happened yesterday to Scott Baker. Scott Baker walked the leadoff man in the first inning on 4 pitches. That runner came around to score, and the Twins were never able to really overcome that and win the series finale. And down the middle, a strike, 3-1. Kennedy, Davis, and Sweeney facing Blackburn.
This time of the year, you see the facial hair on Nick Blackburn getting ready for the winter months. And hopefully he'll have that facial hair all the way into postseason.
3-2. Crack to left field and a leadoff single. That ball jumped up on Denard Span on the first hop. A leadoff single for Adam Kennedy. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Denard Span in left, Carlos Gomez in center, Michael Cuddyer in right, Cabrera and Casilla up the middle. Of course, Cabrera, the former Oakland A, Busher and Morneau in the corners, Bauer behind the plate. Brian Busher getting the start at third base.
Yeah, Brian Busher without an error this year, and the Twins with 65 errors, the fewest errors allowed or made in the American League. So very solid defense behind Blackburn.
And Blackburn gets ahead of Davis, 0-1.
Well, one thing that we have not seen from Blackburn this year compared to last year. Last year he had 31 double plays turned behind him. This year only 12. He's a sinker ball type pitcher, relies on contact. Not too many strikeouts. He'll average about 4 or 5 strikeouts per 9.
There we go. Ball to second. They'll get
one.
You
get one. Yeah.
And with Davis and his speed easily beating the relay, 1 away.
A good pitch right there, kind of jammed Davis, and he hit that weak ground ball to Casilla. And what you want to do as a middle infielder, make sure you do get that one because you know who's running, and Casilla able to do that. Get that lead runner.
Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard 140 ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan, and points north, south, east, and west. Welcome all of you. Pitch outside to Ryan Sweeney.
Keep an eye on Davis at first base. 34 stolen bases. That's 5th most in the American League. Ellsbury of the Boston Red Sox leads with 60.
shaves the outside corner, 1-1.
Quick move home right there by Blackburn. Of course, Joe Mauer behind the plate. Very good arm. Blackburn steps off.
Davis was skittering towards second base.
That's a big part of Oakland's offense. They come in hitting .258 as a ball club. That's 12th in the American League, but they do have 113 stolen bases. Don't hit a lot of home runs. The fewest home runs hit in the American League with 118.
The grounder, and Morneau again will go for the lead runner, and they'll get him. And the relay again not in time with Sweeney fleet of foot beating the relay. 2 down.
Well, good sinker right there by Blackburn. Gets that ground ball, and Justin making sure he got one. A good chest high throw over to Cabrera at second base.
Kurt Suzuki, the hitter. Suzuki, the cleanup hitter for the A's. With 69 runs batted in, he's leading the team. No Oakland catcher has ever led the A's in RBIs. No Kansas City Athletic catcher led the A's in RBIs. You got to go back to the days in Philadelphia. So Suzuki, who has his 69 runs batted in, 8 more than Jack Cust, who's in the on deck circle. 2-0.
Yeah, I think you have to go back 44 years.
Yeah.
And the last time a catcher led the Oakland A's in RBI.
Blackburn fell behind Kennedy and ended up yielding a leadoff single. A couple of ground balls have gotten 2 outs. Sweeney at first, and 2-0 now to the cleanup hitter. And now 2-1. Blackburn with just the 1 win since the All-Star break. He went into the All-Star break and looked very much like an All-Star pitcher. But then his first start out of the break was against the A's, and it was one he'd like to forget. Foul back 2-2. He had a start against the A's earlier in June, where he was sailing along through 7 innings, was maybe in control more than any other start this year. 7 shutout innings, and in a span of 5 pitches gave up 3 hits and 3 runs, and the Twins ended up losing the ball game in a game that Blackburn looked like he was going to sail perhaps even towards a shutout and a win. Foul back. And that start right out of the All-Star break was historic. Twins had a 12-2 lead that they handed Blackburn, and he couldn't finish it off. The Twins bullpen couldn't finish it off, and they ended up losing the ball game.
Well, again, you see the first 6 starts after the break, but then the last 4 he has pitched pretty good baseball. Very consistent. 3.46 ERA. So hopefully Blackburn can continue that. And he lost his last ball game out 3-1, but he pitched very good for 6 2/3 innings in Cleveland against the Indians.
Line foul off the bat of Suzuki.
Blackburn, 27 years old. This is his 3rd season with the Twins. Led the club in innings pitched last year with 193.
2-2. Sweeney not the base stealing threat of Davis, or for that matter Kennedy, but he has stolen 6 in 11 tries. Blackburn will try it again on 2-2.
Oh boy. Good pitch right there. Bob Davidson behind the plate. Tried that breaking ball on the inner half of the plate. Take a look at where Joe Mauer's set up. Maybe a little low as Joe kind of brought that glove up a little bit.
So now a full count, and Morneau will play behind the runner Sweeney. Another busted bat and a roller to Busher. Firing on the run to end the inning. Leadoff single, 3 ground ball outs follow, and a scoreless top of the first. In the presence of royalty, the king is here. Here's the Menards batting order for the Twins. Denard Span leading things off. Orlando Cabrera second. Joe Mauer, the league's leading hitter, third. Justin Morneau's had a good season series against the A's. Then Kubel, Cuddyer, and Busher, Gomez, and Casilla.
And the Twins will be facing a rookie, something that when you face the Oakland A's, there's a good chance you're going to see a rookie. We're going to see 3 rookies here in this 3-game series. And Clayton Mortensen, he is the 7th rookie starter used by the A's this season. Now, this is their 140th game, and 101 of now the 140 games a rookie has started for the Oakland A's. The scouting report on Mortensen, who I have never seen, rely on a good sinker and a slider. He came over from the Cardinal organization in the Matt Holliday trade back in July.
Here's Span. You know, and why don't we just have a blank form as we do these next 3 games? He came over in the blank, or no, from the blank team in the blank trade, because I bet you we could say that for just about everybody in the Oakland roster.
Well, you know what? They're going to the youth movement again in Oakland.
Bob Guerin's hair is turning gray before our very eyes.
Well, Bob Guerin in his 3rd season with the Oakland A's, so he's seen a lot of moves that Billy Beane and the organization has made, and you know, he knows he needs a lot of patience. On Mortensen, again, the good sinking fastball, you saw it right there. He's making just his 3rd major league start, all of them with the Oakland A's. He did make 1 relief appearance for the Cardinals earlier this year.
Span drives it hard and deep to right. Gone! A home run!
I don't think that sinker sank. Span, who hit a home run in yesterday's ball game, hits number 8 here, and his 2nd career leadoff home run. And the troops love it. And you are hereby circled.
Span, who homered in yesterday's game, homers again right off the get-go tonight.
Yeah, he circles the bases right here. Denard Span got a sinker that did not sink, hitting it for a home run. So a good start here for the Twins.
And Cabrera homered 2 nights ago, and he takes strike 1. And strike 2. driven to right center field and carrying pretty deep. Sweeney after it makes a running catch on the edge of the track. One away. Northland Ford defense for the A's. They're young on the mound. They're young in the field for the most part. Eric Patterson in left. Rajai Davis in center. Ryan Sweeney in right. Kennedy a veteran. Pennington getting a chance to play at short. Ellis a veteran. Suzuki a veteran. Pennington getting the shortstop job for the A's after they traded Orlando Cabrera to the Twins.
Yeah, that happening on July 31st when the Twins got Orlando Cabrera.
Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer went hitless in yesterday's game, but he raised his plate appearance total to 503. So he has enough plate appearances to qualify for the batting championship, which, you know, on this date, on the 11th of September, is remarkable given he didn't play at all in April. So Mauer will be among the league leaders regardless of what happens, just based on the number of plate appearances now. On the outside corner, 2-1. Mortensen working quickly.
Yeah, Mortensen very tall, very thin, 6'4", 180 pounds, 24-year-old.
And now 2-2, taking the spot of another rookie, Vin Mazzaro, who's on the shelf now with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, Mortensen surprised when he was traded from the Cardinals to the Oakland A's, but he actually said it's a good surprise because there's a lot of young guys over there trying to, you know, get a chance to compete at the major league level. Originally signed by the Cardinals in 2007 as a #1 pick.
Nice catch by Barton going to his left. Mauer on a sharply hit ground ball is retired, 2 away.
Mortensen going with that, looked like a breaking ball right there. Joe hit it sharply, but Barton right there making the play and getting the out himself.
Here's Justin Morneau. And a breaking ball clips the outside corner. Big swing and a foul. 2 strikes.
Twins really need Justin to find that swing again. Ended up hitting on Wednesday his 30th home run of the year. That off of Roy Halladay in the 8th inning. An even 100 RBIs.
Well in front of the plate. 1-2. Sales outside, 2-2. The A's bringing up the rear in the American League West, 22 games behind Los Angeles, 17 behind the surprisingly contending Texas Rangers. Check swing, and it's 3-2 with Kubel on deck. Ball 4. So Morneau reaches, the inning continues, and the designated hitter will have a chance to designated hit. It's in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Tigers scored first. Toronto getting a couple of runs, presumably against Nate Robertson, the Detroit starter tonight. Tigers running Robertson out there with pretty good results so far. Jim Leyland said in Kansas City his team just kind of played with a case of the blahs. Twins hope that blah feeling will continue for a while.
Yeah, we sure do.
Here's Kubel. And that misses inside, ball 1. The Twins are home, of course, for 3 series. Oakland, then Cleveland and Detroit. The Tigers are home. They have 4 with Toronto and then 3 with Kansas City. And a strike on the inside corner. One side note on the Toronto-Detroit series, the Blue Jays are pushing Roy Halladay back a day. So even though he pitched the other night against the Twins on Wednesday, he will be moved back a day and get an extra day and won't pitch at all in the 4-game series in Detroit.
He'll start that first game of the series in New York against the Yankees.
So again, you can't figure these things out. The Royals pushed Zach Greinke back, and the Tigers didn't have to face Greinke in Kansas City, and the Royals still won all 3. Now they'll have to face Greinke in Detroit next week. Google takes outside, and it's 3-1 with Michael Cuddyer on deck.
Well, Mortensen last pitched a week ago against the Seattle Mariners in Oakland. Ended up losing that ball game 6-3. Worked a career high at the major league level. 7 innings. He did walk 3 with 1 strikeout in that ball game. Gave up 4 runs.
High fly to center field, and Davis, if he sees it, will catch it. Inning over. Denard Span hits his 8th of the year to start the ball game, giving you a thrill here in the upper Midwest and at the other end of the globe.
I'm Robbie Smikowski, and I'm pleased to be joined by retired Staff Sergeant Mike Stafford, who has served a term in Baghdad, Iraq. And Mike, you threw out the first pitch in tonight's baseball game. What was that experience like for you here at the Metrodome?
Man, it was great. It was to be here in Minnesota, to throw out a first pitch like that. It was incredible. I mean, as a kid growing up, I just wanted to always do that, and tonight was living up a kid's dream.
So now, your first time on the air, we get a home run by Jack Cust. Now, do you feel like you brought a little of that maybe not so great luck to us right now?
No, he's just good. He's just good. They've always been a good team, and the best luck for them.
How'd your first pitch go tonight?
Come up a little short of the plate. Should have warmed up before I got started, but you know, I made it across the plate, so good.
Now you're from Tupelo, Mississippi, Mike, and your forte is golf. You're actually an 8 handicap in golf. How did you get so good?
Just practice, worked on the course all my life, worked hard, practicing every day. So.
All right, Mike. Well, we thank you for your service time, and have a good time at the ball game tonight before you head back to Mississippi.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Mike Stafford, big-time golfer, Bert, probably better than you.
I probably get some strokes off of him right there. I love it.
Cust's home run ties the game at 1-1 to Mark Ellis. And now a liner to Busher for the first out. Well, Mr. Stafford paid a supreme price, losing his left leg in service to our country, and that's a pretty good swing.
Yeah, there's a lot of anger behind that swing right there.
Well,
8 handicap. Nice going, Mike.
I never would have guessed he was from Mississippi, though, with that Norwegian accent that he had there. 1 down in the second. Great to have him here and all the servicemen and women who are here and all of you watching around the world. 1 down in the second. Here's Derek Barton. Cust's home run, by the way, measured at 442 feet. It was off the facing of the upper deck or the football press box in deep right center field.
And his 22nd home run of the year, ties the game at 1 apiece. Take a look at the pitch. First ball hitting Jack Cust. A lot of power.
Hit hard to center. Gomez makes the catch, out number 2. So Blackburn getting 3 ground ball outs in the first and a couple of line drive outs here in the second. Roy Smalley, Blackburn succeeded in keeping the ball down through most of the first inning, and now looks in the second as if he's leaving some pitches up.
Yeah, there were a couple of sinkers that didn't sink there in this inning. One that Cust hit an awful long way, but the ball looks like it's coming out of his hand pretty well. One thing I've noticed about Blackburn Burt is that I believe, especially the left-handers, he's got to throw breaking balls early in the game and early in the count. He can't just focus on that sinker. He's got to show, especially left-handers like Cust, other kinds of pitches.
Well, I agree, Roy. You know, because Cust is a first ball fastball hitter, and he got that fastball and tied the game apiece. Got 1 apiece.
A's tie it up with a leadoff home run of their own. You can visit exploreminnesota.com and plan your next Minnesota vacation today. That, of course, Underwater Adventures Aquarium at the Mall of America in Bloomington. I like the first tank. It's Fisherman's Hollow, designed to simulate a Minnesota lake or northern river. They don't have those things in there. They better not. No sharks. Maybe a muskie or an angry northern. Here's Michael Kadire taking strike 1.
Come on down.
There you go, guys. You are hereby circled. Make sure they got it on. You are hereby circled, guys. Thank you for all your help.
0-2 to Kadire. Mortensen gave up a leadoff home run to Denard Span, a 2-out walk to Morneau. And he's thrown a few of those in the dirt as well. 1-2. Kadire still looking for a career high 25th home run this year. It would be his 100th career home run. Instead of base hit to left, leading off the second inning. Cuddyer aboard, and that'll bring up Brian Busher. There he goes, I suppose. If you're a left-handed batter and you can hit Roy Halladay, you got to be able to hit any right-handed pitcher, since Halladay is maybe the best right-handed pitcher in the league.
They ended up getting 3 hits off of Halladay, now getting an opportunity against Mortensen.
Within all of this disappointment surrounding Joe Crede is another opportunity for Brian Busher. It does not sound encouraging that Crede is going to be able to play regularly, if at all, defensively in the balance of this season. And so Busher, who was relegated to bench duty because of Crede's presence on the roster, Busher kind of a platoon player with Crede. It's Busher who figures to get a lot of the playing time that Joe Crede would have gotten, particularly against right-handed pitchers. 2-0. And for Busher, just 126 at bats on the season. Brendan Harris will get some time over there. I'd see Nick Punto, Matt Tolbert over there.
Ron Gardenhire talking about maybe DHing Joe Crede from time to time.
Maybe as soon as this weekend. The Twins will face left-handed starters tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow figures to be a DH day for Joe Mauer. Maybe on Sunday, Crede will get some opportunity to be the designated hitter. 3-1 as the Twins try to build an inning against young Clayton Mortensen.
Well, one thing we have seen from Brian Busher, and we showed a graphic about a month ago, he has the most pitches taken at home plate. So a lot of patience for Busher, looking for that one pitch maybe he can drive. Cuddyer at first base, a couple throwovers. He has 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts.
Busher swings and misses. It's 3-2.
Let's see if they move Cuddyer here on a 3-2 pitch.
Busher strikes out about once every 4 times. Only bounced into 2 double plays in 126 at bats. Cuddyer goes, and Busher skips it right to second base, and it's a double play. So by sending Cuddyer, the shortstop Pennington inched toward the second base bag, and as it turned out, inched toward the baseball.
Well, he inched toward it, but it wasn't something that I think was going to go through the middle anyway. Kind of a check swing, line drive back up the middle. Watch Busher right here just kind of poke that ball toward the center, and perfectly one hopper over to Pendleton, which starts the double play. Pennington.
The 2 down, and here's Carlos Gomez. Big swing and a miss. Gomez hasn't done much against the A's this year. Fly ball here to fairly deep center field, but Davis has it measured. And the inning ends. We go to the 3rd, tied at 1.
I know it's Iraq, and I know you're overseas. You grab yourself a beer, wrap it around your lips, and root the Twins on. Let's go.
Professional advice from manager Ron Gardenhire.
I love it.
One apiece going to the top of the third inning. Cliff Pennington will lead things off. He takes up and away ball one. We're happy to welcome from Iraq Joe Vogel, who hails from Bloomington, Minnesota, and is a great Twins fan. Joe, welcome to Twins Television.
Awesome. Hey, Dick. Hey, Bert. Nice to have me. Thank you.
What do you think of the game so far?
Hey, the game's going great. Nick's pitching pretty well. We had leadoff home run by Denard Span, so I think things are heading in the right direction. We need to make up some ground on Detroit, so we got to do it this homestand. What do you guys think?
Well, Joe, what's the best way for you guys over there to follow your favorite team? And hopefully that's the Minnesota Twins.
Absolutely. You know, we get to pack one thing with some personal stuff, and the first thing was my Twins hat, Dick and Bert. Big Twins fan. We got a webcam in our room. I'm here to play with my brother, and it just so happens my wife goes to bed, and she turns the webcam towards the TV, so I get to watch some Fox Sports Net and catch my Twins, and hopefully we'll gain some ground here on Detroit.
Hey, Joe, I don't know how old you are. Are you old enough to remember Metropolitan Stadium at all down in Bloomington?
You know, funny story. I remember it. I was in kindergarten. My old man took me to Metropolitan Stadium when it came down, and we were able to get some memorabilia from the old Mets. So we got a nice blue seat from the stadium, and it's in our basement. And yeah, I do have some fond memories.
Have you had a chance, Joe, to come to some of the games here at the Metrodome?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My wife and I are huge Twins fans. We've got a 3-year-old son, another one on the way. We're all big Twins fans. I usually try to catch about 12 to 15 games a year, and I'm really, really excited for the new Target Field to open up next year. It should be a good time.
All right, Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot here, knowing full well who's sitting to my right. Who's your favorite Twins player ever?
My favorite Twins player ever. You know, I actually live in Ken Herbeck's hometown of Bloomington, and the Grand Slam in the World Series is one of the biggest highlights that I have. So I'm gonna go with Ken Herbeck. He did great things for Bloomington, and he's a good stature in Minnesota. So I'm gonna go with Herbeck. Sorry, Bert.
That's okay.
Cliff Pennington just hit one out where Ken Herbeck has hit quite a few of them. It's a 2-1 Oakland lead now with all 3 runs scoring on solo home runs.
Joe, how long is your term, and when do you anticipate coming back?
Yeah, right now we're about mid-tour. We're scheduled to come back towards the middle of February, so we're about halfway done, kind of on the downside of the hill. Looking forward to coming back for pass, but things are going well here, and I'm excited to come home and see family and friends.
And what's your main objective there?
Right now, I actually work at the division headquarters tracking current operations. So I'm kind of in the heat of the battle, you know, tracking events and stuff like that throughout our battle space.
Well, Joe, we're going to let you watch the ball game since you're staying up in the middle of the night to do that. But any final words for friends or relatives back here in the upper Midwest?
I just like to say hi to my mom and dad, Gene and Steve, and of course my wife Molly, my little boy Will. We got a baby on the way. My wife's due any day now, so I'm hoping to get back and see that. But you know, great Twins fan, and we're doing great things over here. And I appreciate everybody's support back in Minnesota. This has been a great deal, and without the fans and friends and stuff like that from Minnesota, this wouldn't be possible. So thanks again to FSN. And we'll be rooting our Twins on all the way to the end, and we'll see if we can make the Poll Series.
Joe, thank you, and thank everybody there for all your help tonight and for your service overseas. God bless you all.
Yes, God bless you all.
Thanks, Dick. Thanks, Bert. Appreciate it. Go Twins!
On the right field line off the bat of Davis, with Adam Kennedy finally striking out. You talk about the sacrifice that those men and women make in so many different ways. Here's a young man who's about to be a father for the second time any day now, and he's literally half a world away. Davis bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. Blackburn now finds himself behind 2-1. And 1-1 the count to the Oakland center fielder. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Yeah, that home run allowed by Blackburn. That's the 5th home run he's allowed to the Oakland A's in 3 starts. And again, Oakland coming into this ballgame 118 home runs, the fewest home runs hit in the American League.
Chopped foul, still 1-2. Twins got a leadoff home run in the first. A's got a leadoff home run in the second and again in the third. Up the middle, and Davis has a base hit. So a 1-out single for the speedy center fielder. Again today, all around the state and many states, it was Tee It Up for the Troops Day, the 5th annual National Day of Golf in support of the troops. And a 10% donation over the cost of your greens fee has been collected all around the state of Minnesota. If you'd like more information, go to www.teeitupforthetroops.com for more information. Proceeds will benefit the needs of military veterans and their families. And I know that this organization took out an ad in the local paper, Minneapolis paper today, and within that ad, something very important for those of you watching at 7:51 in the evening, you can go ahead and line up your tee times for next year for Tee It Up to the Troops Day, so you can already make plans to help this very worthy cause. Ryan Sweeney hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Davis at first, a conservative lead so far. Long hold, and Sweeney takes a strike, 1-1.
Well, good fastball down and away. Sweeney hitting the ground ball to Justin in his first at bat, where Justin and the Twins were able to force out Davis at second base. Throw over to first, try to keep Davis close.
Just barely got back.
Quick feet right there by Blackburn. Good throw over to Justin. And a quick tag, but Davis able to get that right hand back on the bag.
Outside 2-1. Last year, Blackburn did so many things well. One of them, hold runners. Teams rarely even tried to run against him. That's been one part of his game that hasn't been as good this year. The opponents have run on the Twins just a little bit more than they have. They've tried 13 steals and have stolen successfully 11 times against Blackburn.
We saw Mike Gallego, the third base coach, going through signs.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Good slider right there, inner half of the plate. Everything has been outer half of the plate. Then he came in with that slider, and Sweeney swinging over the top of it.
Sweeney with a long pass list, has a lot of friends and family up from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 2-2 with Davis at first and one away. And down low, a full count, and that should send Davis towards second base on the next pitch.
Well, I'm sure Justin's going to hold him on right here with one out, just to kind of keep him close to the bag, because any type of extra base hit, Davis in his speed could score.
Blackburn hasn't walked anybody. He has given up 4 hits, half of them home runs.
How about a little strike him out, throw him out?
Davis went back to the bag standing up and nearly stepped over the bag.
Yeah, this is more of a comfortable lead for Davis. This isn't where he's going to try to steal a base. He wants to make sure that Blackburn throws home. He's going to be taking off here.
And again, going back standing up. Three and 2 to Ryan Sweeney. Runner goes, strike 3, throw to second.
Get him.
Safe at second.
Shoot.
He slipped Cabrera's tag on a high throw from Joe Mauer.
Well, Davis in his speed right there didn't get the best of jump because he wants to make sure that Blackburn, and a little conversation right there between former teammates earlier this year. But Mauer's throw a little high. Sweeney taking strike 3. And the throw a little high, and Davis getting back. We're sliding into second base on the outfield side.
Kind of a creative slide by Davis
Yeah,
here.
look at that. He hits with that back foot.
Isn't that something?
It looked like Cabrera got him in the back before that foot could get the bag.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. Blocked by Mauer. That was an interesting slide by Davis. With his front leg, he slid well off the bag and caught the bag with his trailing leg.
It's pretty athletic right there.
We might see that tomorrow in the fantasy camp game after the Twins game.
Yeah, but they do that slide about halfway.
And then we pick up the pieces afterwards. That's hit well to right center field. Kadire back. And it's off the wall for an extra base hit, and another Oakland run. Suzuki glides into second with an RBI double, and it's 3-1.
Good hitting right there by Suzuki. When it came off his bat, I thought it was just a fly ball to deep right field. Kadire went back, and then he kind of gave way because he knew it was over his head. Good solid swing by Suzuki. He drives in his 70th run of the year. Gomez, the trail behind Kadire, gets it back in. Suzuki with his 32nd double.
Last 9 at bats have seen a lot of very well hit balls. A couple of home runs, a double, a Davis single, a couple of lineouts in the second. Anderson out there for a quick trip to the mound.
Hey guys, from down here on the side of the field, I want to mention something that I see in Nick Blackburn. You know, Bert, you talk all the time about a curveball being a better pitch than a slider. And right now, a lot of Blackburn's pitches are in the same plane. And by that I mean the sinker, the fastball is moving kind of sideways through the strike zone. The slider's moving kind of sideways. There's not a whole lot of bite down. And that's what I was talking about earlier. I really think he needs to use the overhand curveball and the changeup a little bit more, just to change eye angles a little bit.
Yeah, there's a curveball right there.
That's a pitch that I think you got to show left-handed hitters.
I agree, Roy. I really do. That's why I like the curveball over the slider when you have 2 of them. You know, that slider, you leave it out over the plate like to Suzuki. I mean, they can get a good swing and just go the other way like he did.
That's exactly right. It just stays right in the center of the sweet spot of the bat a lot of times if it's not down and in or down and away, that slider. And I listened to you talk about preferring the curveball, and I couldn't agree with you more. As a hitter, there really was only one spot you could get me out with a slider. I knew what the speed was, and if you threw it down and in, and it was really nasty, right-handed to me as a left-hand hitter, for example, you might give me some trouble. But anywhere else, and it would just speed up my swing. The curveball, you could throw at different speeds and different eye angles.
Big swing on a 2-0 pitch. Cust fouls it, 2-1.
Well, it's funny too, Roy, because since Anderson has walked out there and talked to Blackburn, the last 3 pitches have been the curveball over the slider. Now, Blackburn's key is to get strike 1 because, again, he's not a strikeout pitcher. But of the 10 batters he's faced so far, 14, he's been able to only get strike 1 on 4 of the 14.
Well, I can tell you what the scouting report is. If I'm sitting there, we're sitting in the locker room on the other side, we're thinking about sinker slider with Nick Blackburn. That's what our focus is. And I would say that probably that most of the opposing hitters are saying, look for the sinker. You're going to get a lot of them. And take it up the middle and the other way and make him get the ball up because he'll throw you some balls in the middle of the plate every once in a while. When you throw him a change up or a curveball every once in a while, that changes everybody's thinking and it gets them off of that same plane and that same speed.
There's a breaking pitch over for a strike, but Roy, what good is a breaking ball if he can't throw it over for strikes? He threw 2 of them and fell behind in this count to a very dangerous batter already 2-0.
No, it's still a good pitch. It's still a good pitch as long as you tell yourself you're not going to throw this guy a fastball. We showed you the numbers. My goodness, he's hitting 574 on the first pitch. Usually that's a fastball. So this is a tough hitter right here. This is one of the RBI guys. You want to make a good pitch right here on a 3-2 pitch.
And it drifts wide. A walk fills first base. He's thrown 32 pitches this inning.
See, that pitch selection right there, I don't like that pitch selection only because it looked like a changeup on a 3-2 pitch. You might as well throw that curveball, and Cust, who does strike out a lot, he's second in the American League in strikeouts. He might swing at that curveball. He's not going to swing at a changeup way out over the plate.
Blue Jays have added another run in the 6th inning. It's 3-1 Toronto going to the bottom of the 6th. Bobby Keppel warming up. Mark Ellis lined out to Brian Busher his first time up.
The pitch count for Blackburn already at 60, now 62 pitches.
And more than half of them here in this 3rd inning where he's only picked up 2 outs. Ellis, one of the hotter Oakland hitters, got off to a terrible start this year, was hurt, but he's been swinging the bat very well lately. And he does here. Deep drive to left. And a 3-run home run for Mark Ellis, and the A's have broken it open with a 5-run 3rd.
Well, Ellis hitting his 8th home run of the year. Got a breaking ball and it just stayed up, and he did not miss it. And the Twins putting themselves behind Blackburn into a hole right here, down 6-1. That's that slider right there that Roy was talking about. And it just spun right into the swing of Mark Ellis.
So 2 strikeouts, 4 hits, a walk, and 5 runs here in the 3rd, and strike 1 to Derek Barton, who lined out to Gomez in center his first time up. So the A's doing it all with extra base hits, and most of their damage done on home runs, which is not part of their game normally. Strike 1 and 2. Stay up till 3-4 in the morning and watch a ball game.
Yeah, really.
You don't want to give up 3-run homers. Two and 2. Isn't it amazing, through satellite transmission halfway around the world, and a hanging breaking pitch is still a hanging breaking pitch. Roller to second. Casilla has it. Barton retired, but a 5 spot for the A's in the 3rd. The Twins going to have to dig themselves out of a big hole again here tonight. damaging 3-run homer by Mark Ellis might have meant the end of the night for Nick Blackburn.
Yeah, Blackburn, it's the second time this season he's given up 3 home runs in a ball game. Last time he did that was August 16th here against the Cleveland Indians.
And in particular, he seems to have a tough time keeping the ball in the ballpark against the A's. Big Adam Kennedy home run late in the game in his first outing against Oakland. 1 strike to Alexi Casillas, starting the Twins third, with Mortensen suddenly handed a 5-run lead, a half swing and strike 2. Mortensen's given up leadoff hits in each of his first 2 innings. The Twins still at the beginning of the learning curve about him. And a defensive swing and a 1-hopper back to the mound, 1 down. Here's Jason Kubel with some season ticket info.
Hi, Jason Kubel here to let you know we have Target Field ticket plans for everyone, including those of you who want to sit in the outfield and catch home run balls. Call today to reserve your Target Field ticket plan.
That was one of the memorable plays of the year. Jason hitting the home run and a fan, a little young lad catching the ball in his cap. Here's Span, who started the night with a solo home run, giving the Twins an early 1-0 lead. Since then, it's been all Oakland. Now 2-hopper to second. The Twins having some very quick at-bats, and that's one of the traps they fell into in yesterday's game against Brett Cecil. They could never get over the top, never get the lead against Cecil, and the game ended up moving along far too quickly for that man's taste.
Well, I said earlier, maybe the pregame or the open, you hope to get Nick Blackburn some early runs because it relaxes you a little bit as a starter. Well, maybe, you know, the 5-run top of the 3rd inning for the Athletics has relaxed Mortensen a little bit, where he can rely on that good sinker. Just let the natural ability take over. And that's one thing that when he made his first start for the A's back in June, he came up and he did say he learned a lot, because he said, I'm not a guy to try to nitpick. I have to rely on my good sinker. And one thing, when they sent him back down, that's when he went down to AAA, and he worked on that, of just being aggressive in the strike zone. And now with this 5-run lead, that's what he's going to try to do.
You sure have to appreciate the pace. I mean, he's out there catching and throwing, and with Suzuki throwing it back to him, stays right on the top of the mound. Of course, now he's going to go back to the back slope and rub the baseball a little bit.
Sometimes when you throw a couple balls in a row like he did, you step back. Okay, now I'm ready to go again.
Lauer hoping for a chance. 3-1 to Cabrera. It's a ground ball to third, picked up by Adam Kennedy. And the Twins, with 3 ground ball outs, are retired quickly in the 3rd.
Tee it up for the troops, and we are honoring and showing respect to our soldiers One way they've done that here at Mendakota is by replacing their traditional golf pins with American flags. But they've also cut a separate hole just off the green on every green so that you never have to lay the American flag on the ground.
Very nice touch. Bobby Keppel comes out of the Twins pen as we move to the fourth, and the Twins see their starter Nick Blackburn go just 3 innings and give up 6 earned runs.
Well, it's up to Keppel now, hopefully, to pitch 2 or 3 innings out of the bullpen, making his 27th relief appearance. He last worked on Tuesday in Toronto, where he worked an inning and a third of shutout baseball. Keppel, a sinker ball slider pitcher.
And he gives up a blast to right field, and that's high off the wall. Patterson to second with a leadoff double. He measured the first pitch and ripped the second one off the baggy and right.
A lot of extra base hits here for the Oakland A's. Looked like a changeup right here that just stayed up. Might have been a breaking ball right there, but a good solid swing by Patterson, who picks up just his 4th double for the Oakland A's this year. He's been up and down 3 times between Oakland and AAA Sacramento.
And the hat off. It's been a frustrating night, opening night of this homestand, and the A's are tattooing the Twins so far. Here's Pennington squaring to bunt and taking strike 1. Pennington homered to right field, his first time up, leading off the third. And the A's added on 4 more runs later that inning. Morneau actually backpedaling, not taking that show of a bunt attempt too seriously. Well, Pennington takes a fastball for a ball, 1-1.
Well, Pennington has 1 sacrifice on the year, a switch hitter. It's a left-handed hitter, hitting .304 coming into the ball game, and only 171 from as a right-handed hitter.
Two and one. A's right now 4-4 in the month of September, hoping to put together their first winning month in a year and a half. Half swing, no swing, and it's 3-1 to the number 9 hitter.
And no sign of a bunt right there either. Oakland leads the season series so far against the Twins 4-3.
And a walk fills first base. So Keppel comes into the game and struggles, giving up a double to the number 8 batter and then walking the number 9 batter. Here's tonight's Cabot Woodstein legendary performance. I can't believe it. It was 10 years ago. Eric Milton pitched the 4th no-hitter in Twins history against the Angels on a Saturday morning at the Metrodome, winning the game 7-0.
Nice going, Eric Milton.
And the guy who caught that no-hitter was in the booth next door here up until a minute or two ago. Bouncer to first. Weird hop for Morneau, and he fields it, gets it to Keppel. 1 away. That ball hit the edge of the cutout. Kind of came up towards Justin's shoulder. 1 away. 2 runners in scoring position.
Even though Kennedy made an out right there, it's a productive out, moving the runners from second to third and first to second.
Terry Steinbach caught Eric Milton's no-hitter. And of course spent most of his career with the Oakland A's. Still has a number of friends in the A's organization. Big batter here with the Twins bringing the infield in, and Rajai Davis at the plate. Down and in, ball 1, and Keppel needs to pitch his tail off here in his first inning of work to keep the Twins within 5. Ron Mahay starting to get loose in the Twins pen. Soft liner to Casilla, and that's a second out, and the runners stay put. 2 away.
That's a big out right there. Keppel throwing that two-seamer in on Davis, and he hits that soft line drive to Casilla.
Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
Who made the last out for the Angels in Eric Milton's no-hitter 10 years ago? This is like a little pop quiz because we just showed the video. Little number. Keppel has time, and the inning ends. Good job by Bobby Keppel after a shaky start. He gets the next 3 batters. You by Quest. Our internet customers get free Quest Wi-Fi powered by AT&T Wi-Fi. And by Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. Expect grand. From the outer perimeter of Twins territory.
I don't think those guys are yelling loud enough. Let's go, guys. Let's go, Twins.
Can you do the wave with 8 people?
Why not?
Well, more close to the ball field here. The Twins are hoping that Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Jason Kubel can do something here against Clayton Mortensen after he had a quick bottom of the 3rd. Mauer hit a sharp 2-hopper to the first baseman his first time up, and he takes low, ball 1. Outside to Mauer. 2-1. Three and 0 to Mauer. Twins need base runners and a bunch of them by any means. And a 4-pitch walk puts the leadoff man aboard.
Mortensen walks his second batter.
I wondered about the wave in Iraq. There we go.
Hey, when it's 4 in the morning, they have to do something to help them stay up.
On a leadoff walk for Mauer here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Morneau. Infield shifted around a little bit, and Morneau takes ball 1, and that'll get Suzuki to the plate. It's 6-1 Athletics here in Minnesota. It's now 6-1 Toronto at Comerica Park. So the door is wide open for the Twins to pick up a game perhaps on the Tigers. But obviously they've got some work to do here. Former Twin Randy Ruiz with a 2-run home run in the 7th inning for the Blue Jays. Morneau drew a walk his first time up. And hits the corner, 1-1. Two and one.
Mortensen again making just his 3rd major league start, his 4th appearance, before getting traded to the A's. Mortensen AAA for the St. Louis Cardinals, and then sent to AAA. Foul ball right there. Sacramento for the A's. Combined in AAA, he was 9-8 with a 4.39 ERA and 23 minor league starts.
With all the starts made by rookie pitchers, and the A's, of course, being very careful with all of them in terms of innings pitched, and 2-2 to Morneau. And a chopper, and nobody covering first base. Morneau is tagged out. So the first baseman Barton came in to field the chopper, and Mortensen had to take care of it himself. Morneau with a belly flop, but he was tagged by the pitcher.
Actually, a good reaction right there by Mortensen, because once he caught that ball and saw that Barton was right there, now it's a foot race, and he's not going to beat him right there. So what he does, he tags him right there, just gets him maybe a little bit. Whoa.
There, but what about right there? Yeah.
Scott Berry, the first base umpire. Calling Justin out. Maybe not on the back, but on the leg. For the first out on the play, Joe Mauer moves to second.
Mauer at second, Kubel at the plate. Strike on the inside corner as he pitched under the hands of the Twins' designated hitter. Twins need to answer, and soon. Doesn't have to be with a crooked number. They just need to get the next run of the game, you'd think. Kubel with a chance to drive in Mauer with a hit to the outfield, and Suzuki will go to the mound again.
That's one thing going down the stretch right here. 22 ball games left with the Minnesota Twins. You have to hit in situations like this. Good 2-out hitting or 1-out hitting, guys in scoring position. It's one thing that hurt the Twins in yesterday's ball game. Just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position.
One strike to Kubel.
Kubel with a career high 81 RBI on this year and 22 home runs.
Out in front of the changeup, and it's 0-2. Fouled away over the on-deck circle and into the seats. Still 2 strikes. Three with the A's, 3 with Cleveland, and 3 with Detroit. And again, the Twins had a 9-game homestand last time they played here and went 6-3, winning all 3 series 2-1. In the dirt, smothered by Suzuki, 1-2. Kubel had a fly ball to center his first time up. Twins have just a pair of hits. Span's leadoff homer in the first, Kadayer's leadoff single in the second. Old foul. Twins 39 and 30 at home. And 31 and 40 on the road. Outside 2-2. Roy, would you agree the Twins need to score the next run here?
Yeah, this is a big run, not only for the reasons you guys are talking about, getting hits in big situations, but just making it 6-2 in the fourth instead of 6-1. Every little, even single runs early in the game to get back in the game are important.
Kicks away from Suzuki, and Mauer will advance. So now wouldn't even take a hit to get Mauer in from third, and Kubel's done a nice job stringing the count full.
Suzuki did everything he could to try to keep this ball in front of him. The ball ended up going to his right, and Joe Mauer alertly moves over to third. It'll be a wild pitch charged to Mortensen, like a breaking ball off the chest protector of Suzuki. And the infield will play back, so Kubel needs to do right here is just hit the ball past the pitcher on the ground, or just hit it over that fence in right field.
And Bert, you remember sitting on the bench and how big a run like this could be. You're kind of down after the other team throw up a 5 spot. It's 6-1. But if all of a sudden you come right back and it's 6-2, and then in the 5th inning it's 6-3, you start feeling a lot better about your ability to come back and win the game.
Kubel pumps it to left. Nice running catch by Pennington.
Yeah, guys on the bench say, let's peck away, guys. Let's peck away at that lead. And Pennington showing some speed right there. Kubel kind of a half swing, almost what Busher did, to hit into the double play.
To our Aflac trivia question, and the answer with Kadayer standing in.
Aflac!
I want to say it was, I had the name now and I can't think of it.
Aflac!
The guys in the truckle back, Jeff Devaney. Yeah, they'll give me credit. I couldn't think of his name when the red light came on.
I wasn't watching, so.
1 strike to Kadayer, and suddenly this runner at third becomes even more important. Kubel couldn't get him in. Nice play by the shortstop Pennington. And a bouncer hit right at the third baseman Kennedy. Twins got a walk, moved Mauer to third, and left him there. It's still 6-1. The batting stance guy is imitating to short code 234-234, and we'll have the answer for you in the Quest Twins Live postgame show. Kurt Suzuki will lead things off, followed by Jack Cust and Mark Ellis against Bobby Keppel. Keppel gave up a double and a walk to the first two guys he faced, but got the next three batters no further damage on the scoreboard. And he delivers strike one. Suzuki doubled in a run in the third. Cust walked, and then Ellis cranked a 3-run home run. Two strikes.
Yeah, Suzuki, very durable catcher in his third season with the A's.
Can you imagine a catcher having to catch all this inexperience in one season? My goodness. And he pokes a base hit to right on an 0-2 pitch. So Suzuki gets his second hit of the ball game, a leadoff hit here in the fifth.
Yeah, second time he's taken a pitch away and just went with it his last time up, that RBI double in the 5-run third inning.
So Keppel goes back to the stretch position. He's facing Cust, who hit a first pitch home run leading off the second, and then drew a walk in the third. Ball one. It was Cust's leadoff home run that tied the game at 1 early in the second inning. And the A's haven't looked back since. Two and 0. Cust hits a lot of home runs. He strikes out a lot and he walks a lot. Cust leading the team with his 21 home runs, leading the team with 83 walks, and leading the team with 155 strikeouts. And Keppel misses again. It's 3-0.
Well, when you miss with that sinking fastball, now in a situation like this, you have to throw that straight fastball, the 4-seam fastball, compared to the 2-seam fastball, and that makes Cust even more of a threat because of that power.
And Cust draws his second walk, and Keppel's right back into the hot water in the fifth inning. First and second, nobody out. Today's broadcast is on AFN, American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving in 177 countries and aboard 140 ships at sea. We're watching in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan, and elsewhere. And again, we welcome all of you. Here's Mark Ellis, hit a 3-run home run with Suzuki and Cust aboard in the third inning, and Keppel misses ball one.
We saw Ron Mayhay getting up for the second straight inning down in a Twins bullpen.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Keppel wiggled his way out of a mess in the fourth inning after the leadoff double and follow-up walk. That's one out, and that's all it'll be, with Cust retreating to first and Suzuki getting back to second.
Justin playing deep behind Jack Cust right there. Line drive right to him, and Cust wins the foot battle race back to the bag. See Cust jumping off the bag, but the ball hit behind him, and he gets back to the bag.
Ron Gardenhire wondering whether Ron Mayhay is ready with Derek Barton, another left-handed batter, coming to the plate, and Bobby Keppel ends up facing 8 batters and retiring half of them. He'll check out for Ron Mahay when we come back. Thousand fans at the game. You can get a Jim Cott bronze statue, kitty, 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 courtesy of Pepsi. Tickets for tomorrow's game can be purchased by calling 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Jim Cott into the Twins Hall of Fame. And Ron Mahay coming into the ball game for the Twins, new to the ball club, trying to use his experience to get the Twins out of a jam here in the 5th.
Yeah, Mahay coming over, joining the Twins on August 29th when he signed as a free agent after he was let go by the Kansas City Royals, making his 5th appearance in a Twins uniform. He worked in yesterday's ball game 2/3 of an inning. Faced a couple of batters, retired both of them, 9 pitches.
Bottom third of the order due up in the next 3 batters. Of course, Mahay would love to get a ground ball double play here and get the Twins off the field in the 5th. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
Mahay once pitched for the Oakland A's back in 1999 and 2000.
He once pitched for the Kansas City Athletics, I think. Foul. This inning started with Suzuki hitting an 0-2 pitch to the opposite field for a single.
Mahay, 38 years old, in great shape. Fastball, slider, changeup. Mentioned before, he originally signed by the Boston Red Sox as an outfielder. Converted to a pitcher in 1996 when he signed as an outfielder in '91.
Off the knuckles, out of play. Still 2 strikes.
He actually came to the big leagues with Boston as an outfielder. And that didn't work out for him. He did hit his first major league home run back in 1995 against the Angels' now pitching coach Mike Butcher.
Back with a breaking pitch just off the plate. 1-2. And now 2-2. Twins haven't had a left-hander the likes of Mahay, I don't think, since maybe Terry Mulholland, a guy who's been through an awful lot of innings, A lot of different experiences, a lot of different teams. Oh, foul.
Yeah, the Twins are his 8th different organization to pitch for at the major league level.
Eight hits for the A's, some line drive outs, 3 home runs. It's been their night so far. Mayhay trying to quiet a rally in the 5th. Deep down the right field line.
That's not going to quiet it.
Gone! A 3-run home run for Derek Barton. And it's 9-1.
4 home runs hit by the Oakland A's. Their second 3-run home run of the ball game. I always say solo home runs won't hurt you, but those 3-run home runs will kill you. Barton hitting his 3rd home run of the year. Hey, moving that ball around. And Barton with that uppercut swing.
And Barton was behind 0-2. He fouled off a bunch of pitches, got the count even, and whacked one just over the baggy and right. Here's Eric Patterson. And a strike. That one measured at 339 feet. Pop fly down the line, and it's 3 more big runs for the A's. So the Twins, who saw the A's come back from a 12-2 deficit in the middle of the ball game in Oakland in July, now are faced with a similar gargantuan task ahead of them, trying to come back from 8 here. A base hit to center for Patterson. And so the only out recorded was Ellis's rocket to the glove of Morneau. And Bobby Kemple charged with 2 of the runs here in the 5th. And now Pennington. Armando Gabino is going to start to get loose.
Again, remember this Oakland A ball club, a lot of young guys that are trying to prove themselves, and they're playing loosey-goosey, and pretty loosey-goosey here tonight. Twins have left some pitches up that have been very hittable.
Can we make a vow, you and me, to our viewers from this point forward? We will never, ever in any future years talk again about the difficulty of schedule, because it doesn't seem to matter. Has there been a team in any division that's had a greater impact on the division without ever having contended for a championship than the Kansas City Royals? They swept the Tigers and kept the Twins in the race while they were in Toronto. And now here's an Oakland bunch that is 22 games out. And they look like they're the team contending for a postseason berth. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
Well, it's only 1 game, and you know these games are so much more important to the Twins than they are the Oakland A's. But again, these guys are professional. They want to stay at the major league level a long time. A lot of youngsters right there in that picture frame. You know, they have something to prove. They're not going to roll over because they're 22 games out.
2 strikes to Pennington.
Heck, when I was with Cleveland, we were 22 games out in May.
And Mayhay gets a second out. Roy, what have you noticed from down by the Twins dugout about what's happened here with these Oakland hitters pounding out 4 home runs?
Well, guys, Bert and I have been talking about how I really hate slider strikes. I'm going to show you why. Here's a slider to Suzuki from Nick Blackburn in the middle of the plate. Stays in the middle, double. Here's a slider to Mark Ellis, 3-run home run, really a big blow. Here's a slider left-hander to left-hander, stays in the middle of the plate. And I just think a slider strike is such an awful pitch, and I think as a hitter, I really think pitchers ought to understand that the best slider is the one where you don't have to throw a strike with it. You throw it down and away, down and in, whatever you want. But if you just spin a slider up there just because it's something different than a fastball, it doesn't work. It gets hit a long ways.
Well, especially if you're someone that has a curveball with it. Now, Mayhay has a fastball slider, so he has to make sure he keeps it down. He did not on Barton.
Another 3-run home run for the A's. Agonizing with the score. We're at the Metrodome. Robbie and Smokowski, Roy Smalley, Burt Blatov, and Dick Bramer here at the Dome for the series opener. Twins got the first run of the game. Then the next 9 have gone to the A's. So in an attempt to try to turn things around, we're going to bring in another special guest from Iraq here in just a second. Here's Brian Busher leading off the 5th inning. And he takes ball 1 and then ball 2. Nick Vogel, Joe's brother's with us. Nick from Eagan, Minnesota, and he too a big Twins fan. Nick, we got to get this game turned around. And we've got some audio issues coming out of Basra, Iraq. A line drive to center. Nick, what can you do to get this game turned around?
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm not happy about this 10-1 deficit. We did a tee up for the troops thing today. We got to start chipping away at this lead.
Nick, how big of a Twins fan were you growing up, and are you now as an adult, even though it's a long-distance relationship you've got with the Twins?
I tell you what, say the way the game is played right now, we wake up around about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and so we roll over, turn on the computer, and we're usually catching the second half of all the Twins games. So I try to watch them every day. Try to read up on the Twins on the Twins website as well.
Nick, what do you guys have an opportunity to do in your spare time in Iraq?
Well, like I said, during the workday, we try to check up on the Twin scores. Of course, watching Detroit. My wife and my parents try to send over the Pioneer Press so we can pick up on the recaps of all the Twins games, and of course, trying to catch you guys as much as we can. Unfortunately, we can't get the audio and video stream like we would like to, but we try to watch all the recaps after the games are over.
Well, I asked your brother Joe when we had him on a few innings ago who his favorite all-time Twin was, and he said Kent Hrbek.
Ooh.
Who's yours?
I'm going to go with Kirby Puckett, Dick.
Pretty good choice.
That's a very good choice.
Did you come to a lot of Twins games at the Metrodome when you were still here stateside?
Absolutely. I'd say probably my favorite thing to do was take the light rail downtown from the Mall of America, catch the game, and then catch it back to the Mall of America and head home for the evening.
I know you.
Of course, Wednesday, my favorite night of the week, has got the Dollar Dome night, and in college you got the student ID night. So that was the best time.
Hey, Carlos Gomez shoots a base hit to right field, taking a pitch down and away and hitting it sharply on the ground to right for a base hit.
Nick, I'm sure you have a lot of family members that are hopefully watching here tonight. You want to say hello to them?
Absolutely. Say hi to my wife Rachel, love you, miss you. My parents, Steve and Jean, and of course all my other avid Twins fans back home cheering on the game right now. We gotta win this one, guys.
Well, they had their work cut out for them. Roy Smalley last inning talked about how the way the Twins have to peck away, but now with a 8-run lead, they need some big innings. They don't need to peck away. They need a 3 or 4 run inning to get back into this contest.
Hey, Nick, we want to thank you for
I'm thinking a couple grand slams from Joe Mauer or Justin Morneau.
That sounds
okay. Nick, we want to thank you for your service to your country and your time with Fox Sports North here tonight, and we wish you safe tenure over there and safe journey home real soon, we hope.
Yeah, God bless you all.
Thanks to FSN. Thanks to the Twins organization. Thanks for all your support, guys.
That's Nick Vogel, Eagan, Minnesota, native Twins fan, watching half a world away. Now the count 2-1 to Alexi Casilla, who just hit a little weak comebacker to Mortensen, leading off the third inning.
Yeah, Mortensen threw him that good sinker down and away, and kind of a half swing right back to him. And Gomez at first base, 11 stolen bases in 17 attempts.
And a chopper to third. Kennedy goes to second. They get the lead runner there. Casilla reaches on a fielder's choice. So 2 down. Back to the top of the order in Denard Span. If you're thinking about a career in sports, you should check out the Twins' annual sports internship and career fair next Tuesday. Ticket to the event not only gives you the chance to network with local teams and broadcast outlets, but also includes a ticket to the Twins game that night. Visit twinsbaseball.com/job opportunities for information or to register for the sports internship and career fair. Two down, a runner at first, and here's Span. Up and away, ball 1. So Mortensen, in the back or the front of his mind, knows he needs to get one more out here to qualify for a win. He's only thrown 77 pitches. It would be his first major league win in his third start. Strike, 1-1.
Boy, Mortensen almost built a lot. Now, if you drop him down maybe a couple inches, a lot like Tim Hudson when Hudson first came up with the Oakland A's. Hudson, of course, had that great split finger. He still has it. He's coming off the disabled list for the Atlanta Braves.
And a little ground ball to second on 3 hops. Ellis has it to Barton. The Twins are done in the 5th, and it's still 9-1.
welcome back. I'm Robbie Mikowski inside the Minnesota State Lottery Winners Circle. And I've got Martha here, Bert, all the way from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets for Martha. And Bert, check this out. It's a twofold lottery winner tonight. 81 years it took her, Bert, to see her first game at the Dome. And she comes 11 games from the final game here at the Dome. And she's also a military police grandma, as her granddaughter is serving a term over in Korea for the United States military. Martha, takes you 81 years to get here. How does it feel to finally be circled by Bert?
Just wonderful, great, just super.
Yeah, super, Bert. Rarely can I say this, but you made a young lady's night, Bert.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, she can put the sign down now. She looked like she was getting tired holding that baby up at 81 years old. Martha, congratulations.
Armando Gabino will try to put together a good inning here. The A's have pretty much teed off on anybody the Twins have put out there so far tonight.
Well, Gabino, remember, he came up back in late August and made a start against the Baltimore Orioles. He lasted only 2 2/3 innings. He did not get a decision, and the Twins came back and won that game 7-6.
Tigers are trying to come back on the Jays at 6-4, top of the 8th inning. Rajai Davis, Ryan Sweeney, and Kurt Suzuki, with the A's already in front 9-1. A pair of 3-run home runs that might prove to be backbreakers. There's a pop-up short left. Span sprints in, Cabrera there, and it's Cabrera, I think, who made the catch. He got it. 1 away. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Ryan Sweeney.
Well, I'm sure they're both yelling for it right here, and it ends up being Cabrera that takes it away from Span. Span yelling something, Cabrera was, and Cabrera staying with it and able to get the ball. Little contact there between Span and Cabrera.
Right now, ideally, you get a situation like that, you want the shortstop to back away, right?
Yeah, you do, but again, the noise factor here at the Dome and everything, and you know, you go back and you're calling and Span's calling, and just make sure somebody catches it.
You know, it's amazing with all the high-profile games played here, World Series games, All-Star games, playoff games. The noise certainly a factor, but I don't believe there was any major play like that where the acoustics in here interfered with a major game.
Yeah, we were talking, I think, you know, we talked to reporters, I have, over the last, you know, week or two about the Dome, you know, no longer being here as far as baseball. Twins going over to Target Field, some of the fondest memories. And I think, you know, going to 87 and 91 World Series, not only the World Series, but also postseason. Another ball hit.
Sweeney high off the wall, and the A's are taking target practice in right field. A double for Sweeney with 1 out in the 6th.
Yeah, Sweeney picking up his first hit, but you know, no game was decided because of a ball lost in the Teflon baggie. That's a good thing. Gabino right here leaving a slider up. That's what Roy Smalley was talking about. That slider just kind of spins, and Sweeney didn't miss it. His 25th double of the year, his first hit of the ball game.
You had the state-of-the-art curveball. I mean, yours is the gold standard for curveballs. In terms of the slider, it was Steve Carlton, right? And when you think, at least when I think of Carlton and his slider, I think of the one that was down and in, almost at the shoe tops of right-handed hitters. It ended up nowhere near the strike zone.
Yeah, I mean, he really worked on top of that ball. And what you're seeing is guys today that are kind of flat. And that creates that spin of the slider to flatten out rather than staying on top of the ball. Just like throwing a good fastball down and away. You cannot throw a good fastball down and away if you're lazy out front. You have to work out front. That's the same thing for a breaking ball. You have to work out front. Gabino has a slider. He has some movement on the fastball. There's a slider right there, but you see the spin, it stays on the same plane. So it just tells me he's a little bit lazy with his wrist. He's not working out front.
Suzuki with a double and a run scored, and an RBI in the 3rd, and then a leadoff single and a run scored in the 5th. And a strike, 2-1.
You know, I always talk about staying on top of the ball. What I mean by staying on top of the ball is working out front with that breaking ball. Same thing as a slider. When you throw it lazy like this, it's just going to spin. But if you work out front with that, then you're going to create that good downward plane. And we've seen a lot of flat ones here today from Blackburn, from Mahay, and then that double right there.
Suzuki absolutely creamed one to left. A third, almost halfway up the grandstand area in left. A 2-run home run for Suzuki. And the pummeling continues.
5 home runs hit here tonight against Twins pitching. Again, Oakland came in with the fewest amount of home runs in the American League. And they are teeing off the Twins pitching staff.
11-1.
Take a look at the pitch right here. It's that slider again that just stayed up. You know, Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, guys that really worked out front with that slider, and they kept it down about knee high. Seen a lot of sliders tonight, about belt high.
Strike on the outside corner is not just the 5 home runs. There have been, what, 3 balls hit off the drape and right, the baggie, for doubles. Cust had the first home run. It was a 1-0 Twins game. And then Cust's home run started an 11-run outburst over the span of 5 innings. 1-1.
Boy, we've seen a lot of hanging sliders.
We sure have, Bert. And you know, you're talking about Carlton and Seaver. Sparky Lyle was another. Ron Guidry was another that, as Dick said, would throw that slider, and the image you have is diving back at the back foot of the hitters. Those guys also, you're talking about working out front. They did that, but they also were not afraid to throw that pitch for a ball. And so many times with the pitchers nowadays, I think they want to throw a strike with it as if it's going to fool the hitter. They don't want to throw it in situations where it's okay if it's a nasty pitch but a ball. And I think that's a big difference too. Those other guys work to say, I'm throwing it down that downward plane. If the guy can lay off of it, I'll tip my hat, I'll have to throw in something else. But they did not want to throw it in the middle of the plate.
Well, and the guys you're talking about right there, the Carltons and the Seavers, I mean, what made their slider so effective? They had a good fastball and great control of that fastball. They weren't afraid to bust guys inside and move them off the plate, and that made that breaking ball a little bit better.
Pop up near the Oakland dugout.
See, I see the pitch that I see the change of pace off the fastball as being the change of pace pitch, as being an actual changeup. The slider is not the unless you can throw it down at the back foot of the hitter to the opposite hitter, or low and away to the same side hitter. That doesn't really fool a guy, you know, from off the fastball. And that's where pitchers get in trouble. They think that just by spinning it up there, it fools the hitter. Really, all it does, if the guy's looking for a fastball, is it settles right in the middle of the plate and speeds up his bat.
2-1 to Ellis.
And I want to make sure a lot of people out there that want to be pitchers at the major league level one day, everything keys off the fastball. Control both sides of the plate of that fastball. Really breaking balls up like that, major league hitters are going to hit you. And that looked like another breaking ball that stayed up, and Ellis gets his second hit.
He has a 3-run home run, a sharp single to left, and 2 lineouts to the corner infielders. Rick Anderson to the mound with 2 men on and only 1 out.
I see the guys in Iraq are working on that baseball. Stay on top, guys. Stay on top.
Well, and the guy in the middle there, I mean, he had a little altered grip on the beverage there that he was drinking. It's not just a baseball.
Everything you do. Well, we've seen a lot of breaking balls from Covino, who has a good sinking fastball. Covino just turned 26 years old on August 31st.
Well, the Twins having a really tough time with the middle, from the 5 hitters on down. 5 through 9 hitters are 8 for 14, 4 homers, 8 runs batted in, and 6 runs scored.
Yeah, every hitter in the Oakland lineup has at least 1 hit. 14 hits total for the A's with 11 runs on the board.
Here's Derek Barton. A strike. So much of what you and Roy have talked about depends on what Gabino just did there, though, doesn't it? Throwing a fastball in a good spot, getting ahead of the hitter, and then I would think your breaking pitches are infinitely more successful if the count's 0-1 rather than it's 1-0 or 2-0.
A good fastball right there. Like it fouled off the umpire, Bob Davidson.
2 strikes to Barton.
Well, I don't care if you're Nolan Ryan or you're somebody that doesn't throw as hard as Nolan Ryan once did. And there aren't too many guys like that, but everything again keys off the fastball, control over fastball, and then the breaking ball should be your strikeout pitch.
Two strikes to Barton. Barton, to his credit, in his last at bat, the game was in Oakland's hands, 6-1. But Barton fell behind 0-2, fouled off some pitches, worked it to 2-2, and then just hit a little fly ball that barely cleared the baggy and right for a 3-run home run. And now a liner to third. Busher fires into right field. All the runners will move up. Busher looked like he was almost hesitating through his delivery to second base, trying to get the ball over or around the runner retreating to the bag.
Yeah, first error of the year for Brian Busher. I think he tried to just kind of soft toss that ball. Watch this ball right here, hit right to Busher, going right at him, but then kind of lob it over the runner, and Casilla jumping, he couldn't get it. First error of the ball game by the Twins.
Here's Eric Patterson, who has a couple of hits. Ball one.
You know, since Rick Anderson went out, I have not seen a slider from Gabino yet. I mean, everything's been fastballs, all fastballs to Barton, and the first pitch here to Patterson, a fastball. I'm sure he went out and said, trust your stuff. There's a changeup right there that misses.
Two 2-0 to Patterson. With Pennington, the number 9 hitter, is next.
Another changeup right there.
Three and one. 27 pitches for Gabino this inning, 15 strikes. 4 of the strikes ending up in the outfield or beyond the base hits. Three and two.
A good fastball right there. Just challenge him. Gabino down in Rochester was 6-3 with a 3.30 ERA and 92 innings pitched. 23 walks, 60 strikeouts. He made 6 starts for Rochester on 37 appearances.
Full count to Eric Patterson. And a walk loads the bases. No activity in the Twins pen. The Twins are going to let Gabino try to get out of this with just the 2 runs allowed. Here's Cliff Pennington. Pennington's home run leading off the third gave the A's their first lead. That was 9 runs ago. His home run made it 2-1. They've added 9 more. Ball one. bases full, and of course the pitcher has the option of throwing from the windup or the stretch. But even when Gabino started for the Twins, he just threw from the stretch.
Right.
2-0 to Pennington.
He's in that danger zone right here.
Roush looks like he's going to start to warm up. Matt Guerrero. And a walk, forcing in a run. Third run of the inning against Gabino.
The easiest way to pick up an RBI is that bases loaded walk. Pennington picking up his second RBI of the ball game.
Gabino's walked the number 8 batter and the number 9 batter.
Jack Cust scoring for the 4th time in a ball game.
Francisco Liriano starting to get loose along with John Roush. Here's Adam Kennedy, 9th man to bat. Didn't want that to happen after 5 rough innings before the 6th. And strike 1.
Well, one thing, this is September, so extra guys down in the bullpen. Twins have 9 relievers down in that bullpen. Gabino, the 3rd reliever used.
Tap foul, 0-2.
I mentioned earlier Ron Mayhay, he signed as an outfielder. Gabino originally signed with the Indians as a 3rd baseman, converted into a pitcher in 2003.
1-2. Kennedy, who's gotten some huge and crippling hits against the Twins, has actually had a quiet night. Got a leadoff single in the 1st, but Blackburn pitched around it, got 3 ground ball outs, and pitched a scoreless 1st inning. That's when the trouble began.
He's had an opportunity here in Oakland to kind of get his career going again. He was released by the Cardinals in spring training, signed by the Rays. The Rays let him go. They ended up trading him here to Oakland back in early May.
Kind of surprised that he survived all the trade deadlines with him playing some at 3rd base, showing some flexibility, versatility. A strikeout here, and Gabino leaves the bases full. But the A's scored 3 more runs they're probably not going to need.
Oh, you never know.
Light freeze cam. Here's Rajai Davis's creative sliding at second.
Yeah, he just tried to stay away from the tag of Cabrera, and he was called safe at second base by his second base umpire, Jeff Nelson.
The Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze cam. Bottom of the sixth. Couple of walks, couple of hits. Somebody jacks one. We're right back in this thing. Cabrera 0 for 2 takes a strike. Remember when the 5-run third and Mortensen was handed a 6-1 lead, and you talked about how relaxed he might be? Well, right now he's got an 11-run lead. He might be sound asleep.
Nice play right there by Kennedy. Kind of lost the ball when he was going to throw, and then able to get something on the ball. Right off the end of the bat, Kennedy has to come in and field the ball and makes a nice play.
11 ground ball outs from Mortensen, 1 away, and here's Mauer, who's 0 for 1 with a walk.
Watch Kennedy right there, get it on the short hop and then lost it, and then got the re-grip on it.
Getting robbed here. His foot was off the bag.
Oh, Barton right here. Watch a lot of first basemen do that.
Yeah, it's not right. He loses ball game. We're going to know why. Mauer flips one foul, 1 strike. Ichiro and the Mariners are in Texas, but it's raining in Texas. That game being held up. Mauer takes outside a ball. Mauer with a 9-point lead over Ichiro beginning play this weekend in the American League batting race. Mauer at 363, Ichiro at 354, but now Joe, even though he's gone 0 for 1, his average still at 363. You know what? As great a hitters as they are, it's ironic. Here Joe has had a few games now, or maybe 1 hit, but 0 for 4, 0 for 5, and Ichiro has matched him. He's kind of hit a little bit of a skid at the same time Joe has. Here's a drive to center, and it'll hop over the wall for a ground rule double. So Mauer 1 for 2 with a walk.
Twins get the 4th hit of the ball game. Mortensen fell behind 2-1, came in with a fastball that stayed up. Remember, so many ground ball outs, but that one stayed about thigh high, and Joe Mauer, he doesn't miss those. A line drive ground rule double for Mauer, his 24th double of the year.
Here's Morneau. Little pop up, short right center field. Sweeney streaks in and takes it away from Davis. Morneau quickly retired. Out number 2. And that'll bring up Jason Kubel. Into the top of the 9th. Toronto still leading Detroit 6-4. Sure, it's driving the general manager and the manager crazy, because now the Tigers might come back and win their game tonight, but for a while it looked like they were going to run away and hide from a relatively soft division, but now they've struggled, and as Jim Leyland says, they're playing with a case of the blahs right now, and the Twins can't seem to take advantage of it. 1 strike to Kubel. There's a liner to left. Kubel has a hit. Mauer will check in at 3rd. So Mauer and Kubel with hits here with 2 gone in the 6th. Kadire coming to the plate. Time for the Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest high-speed internet.
Now Clayton Mortensen out there, and he has 88 pitches. He's been clocked as high as 92 with that good sinker. And Nick Blackburn, he lasted only 3 innings. He is clocked at high as 93. That ball hit too sharply right there by Jason Kubel to get Joe Mauer home. Mauer had to stop at 3rd base. Kubel picks up his first hit.
Here's Kadire. Down and away, ball 1. the West Coast, the White Sox are playing the Angels, and they started the night just a half game behind the Twins. So if the Twins can't take advantage of a possible Detroit loss, the White Sox are poised out in Southern California to leapfrog past the Twins. 1-1 to Cuddyer. One and two.
Well, again, give Mortensen credit. You know, he's been given a lot of run support, but he's went out there and he's thrown strikes. 91 pitches, 54 strikes. Does have a couple walks, yet to have a strikeout in the ball game. We've seen a lot of that, the check swings.
Yeah. So the Twins get a double from Mauer, a single from Kubel, leave two aboard, and still trail by 11.
Birthday to Eric Curry. Curry celebrating his 45th birthday. Francisco Liriano making his first relief appearance. His 24th appearance overall. It's the first relief appearance for Liriano since 2006. Of course, was put on a disabled list with that left arm fatigue back in the middle of August. Justin Huber taking over for Justin Morneau at first base.
And Francisco Liriano on the mound. Jose Morales doing the catching. So Joe Mauer's night will finish 1 for 2. Eric Curry, the Vice President of Corporate Partnerships, claiming to have a birthday today for the Minnesota Twins. But my guess is he's going out to eat tonight and wants to get a free dessert someplace. Into the left field corner. And Davis greets Liriano with another extra base hit.
Well, Davis picking up his second hit of the ball game. And the 15th for the A's.
You can submit a question to us online at carsoup.com/baseball. And tonight's question, Stan Rollinger from Mankato wondering, will Pat Neshek be ready to return next spring, and does he have plans for winter ball? Pat is here. He's going to get his elbow checked out. He's got a little bit of tendonitis in the elbow, which they say is typical for the surgery that he's had, in the hopes that he'll be able to, I don't know, go to instructional league or whatever, get some work on the mound in, right?
Yeah, he said he's going to stay down in Florida and continue to work out down there at the complex in Fort Myers.
In the dirt, Morales digs it out 1-1. I asked Ron Gardenhire about Boof Bonser, who actually pitched for Fort Myers towards the end, and Boof had a couple of good outings, but now their season's done, and they don't have a place for him to pitch right now. This is not the best night to be discussing the potential depth of the Twins bullpen, but
that's the question he asked.
Here's a fly to left, and Span makes the catch one away. But you know, when you think of who the candidates might be out there with a refurbished Neshek and Bonser, Crane.
You got to look at Bonser maybe back in that starting rotation too if he gets healthy. So a lot of arms out there, just a matter of who's going to succeed the best.
And I think that'll be one of the points of emphasis, if you will, for the Twins front office to establish more depth in the rotation next year too. You can't go into a season imagining, I guess, that 3 of your starters are going to be on the disabled list, but that's what happened to the Twins, and they are where they are now, on the verge of going back below 500, in part because they didn't have the depth in the starting staff that they ended up needing.
Well, Manshep and Dunsing have done a good job, but when you take a Liriano and a Perkins and a Slowey out of a rotation, especially Slowey the year that he was having, you know, Liriano struggled really all season long. And this might be the role that you might see Liriano in, maybe next year. I mean, the Twins really still feel that Liriano is going to be, you know, in their future plans. He's got a great arm. He has major league stuff. Now he just has to kind of get over that arm fatigue factor that he put himself into.
You know, and we saw that in a lot of his starts this year too, where the first time through the order everything was sailing along fine, and then some problems in the middle innings that presumably he wouldn't encounter as a relief pitcher. Here's a ball poked down the right field line, and you know, I mean, you're right, the Twins are still very high on Liriano and his prospects as a not just a good but still even a dominant starting pitcher. But if he has to, because of the surgery or whatever, make an intermediate stop in the bullpen again, that might be all part of the process again.
Well, remember, the Twins had Eddie Guardado. They had LaTroy Hawkins that they tried to put into that starting rotation from time to time. And I remember LaTroy, I mean, he would first 4 or 5 innings, my goodness, he'd just blow hitters away. And then you get that third time around, that fastball didn't have that giddy up on it. It had it the first couple times when they face a hitter. And he's made a great career out of being a reliever. And this might be the same thing for Liriano. Who knows? I know he'd rather start, but the main thing is how do you keep him here at the major league level and have success?
Jack Cuss, the hitter. Liriano trying to pitch around the leadoff double by Rajai Davis. 15 hits for the Oakland A's, most of them for extra bases.
Custis had a good night at the plate, a solo home run leading off the second inning, then a couple walks, and then a base hit. He has scored 4 times.
He probably will end up leading the league in strikeouts. Carlos Pena is leading the league right now, but Pena's season is done. And Morales setting up outside, caught it over the inside corner, 1-1. Two and 1. Well, the Tigers ended up losing to Toronto 6-4. Well, barring a miraculous comeback, Twins will start tomorrow exactly where they started today, which of course isn't going to be good enough. Twins are at a position now where they're going to need to start picking up games. You can't count on the Tigers losing every night because that's not going to happen. Nate Robertson taking the loss. Brian Talent moved into the rotation for the Blue Jays, picks up the win. 2-2, Liriano to Cust. And now 3-2. And the Angels have a quick 2-0 lead on the White Sox out on the West Coast. Whoever wins the Central will almost certainly start the playoffs in Yankee Stadium. And Liriano gets a weak wave for strike 3. Cust strikes out. He's retired for the first time, which presumably means he won't score a run for the first time. And it's the birthday boy, Eric Curry, who's going to, on this very
to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing.
Well, happy 35th birthday to you, Daddy.
It has not been a good night for the Minnesota Twins. Jerry Blevins comes out of the Oakland pen with 6 effective innings pitched by Clayton Mortensen as he tries to pick up his first major league win.
Yeah, Blevins in his 3rd stint with the Oakland A's this season, a September call-up.
2 strikes quickly to Busher.
Blevins 25 years old, came over from the Cub organization. Good fastball, big breaking ball, that curveball, that sidearm type of delivery, and a changeup.
One and 2 to Busher, then Gomez, then Casilla. Mauer and Morneau have been taken out of the game. Justin Huber's going to hit in the Morneau spot. fouled away. Pusher bounced into a double play. Then he had a line drive, hit the ball very hard to left center field, but Davis hauled it in the gap. Squibber to third. Bobby Crosby's there now. One down in the seventh. Here are Mountain Dew fans of the game from the other side of the world.
When it's a shame, or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. Go Twins, here we go.
Big swing and a miss by Carlos Gomez, and well, they've done a little bit of everything for us tonight. They've hung with us.
Yes, they have.
So, our thanks to them. 2 strikes to Carlos Gomez. And a breaking ball down and in, 1 and 2. We got a noon game tomorrow, and we need to remind you of that because on many of the schedules that were printed up, it was a TBD, which is television terms or initials for to be determined. But they determined a couple of weeks ago it would be a noon game. There's a fly to fairly deep center, and Davis hustling back makes a nice running catch. Froze that contact, but was able to recover with his speed to make the catch out number 2.
I remember talking to Michael Kadire about balls like that. You have to stop and then find the flight of the ball, and Davis's speed right there, able to catch up to that long fly ball. So Gomez gave it a ride, but Davis did a good job of tracking it down.
Here's Alexi Casilla. A couple of ground balls off the bat of Casilla. Now hitting right-handed against the left-hander Blevins. One and one. Two and one.
Oakland with 10 pitchers down in that bullpen, 5 left-handers, 5 right-handers.
And Bob Guerin, Kurt Young, the staff really see it with a hard ground ball. Backhanded nicely by Kennedy, who's now at second. Low throw, dug out by Barton. And it's a 1-2-3-7. Some of our servicemen and women overseas. We're very happy to be joined now by Chris Gruber of St. Paul, and he's over in Basra. Chris, you're a big Twins fan as well. You must be if you're up in the middle of the night watching a 12-1 drubbing.
Definitely. 12-1, it's definitely not feeling good in the heart, but I'll stay up as long as it takes for the Twins to win. I know they're going to do it in the 8th and the 9th here.
Okay, that's optimism.
Yes, a lot of optimism. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself growing up in the St. Paul area.
Born and raised in St. Paul. I actually was blessed to be able to see Joe Mauer play at Cretin-Derham Hall and saw him hit about, they couldn't see the exact measurement of it, but it was probably around 500 feet over the center field of that long center field at Cretin-Derham Hall. I'm sure Paul Molitor knows something about that. But just seeing that and then knowing one of my friends who actually stole a base off Joe Mauer, that was pretty cool to hear about that. I actually saw that, but it's pretty awesome.
Hey, Chris, we had Nick and Joe Vogel with us. Of course, you've been watching the ball game with them tonight. One thing I'm curious about, and I'm sure the viewers would be curious, what is your day like? If there's not a ball game on in the middle of the night, tell us, and Bert asked too about what you do with your free time, but when do you get up and what is your day like over there?
I'm actually very gifted to be able to work at night over here, and so I don't get to see a lot of the games like live like this, which is awesome. Thank you, FSN, for doing this. But I usually sit up when I can on the computer watching on the MLB.com, the game thing, the online thing, and just watch it and sit there and root and cheer and say my ahs and say my yeahs and all that kind of stuff whenever I see like a blown play or a home run given up by the Twins, which doesn't happen very often, so this game's kind of bad. But whenever we get one back, I'm always cheering, and everybody thinks I'm crazy sitting in where I work and yelling and saying, "What are you yelling at?" And I'm just looking at a computer screen. But it's awesome. I love the Twins. Follow them all the time.
So sports are very important to all you guys over there, isn't it?
Definitely keeps us motivated, keeps us going. Reminds us of home, definitely, and anything that can remind us of home is definitely what keeps us going. And we just, every day is another day. We just can't wait till we get back home.
I saw some of the guys there with a ball and a glove. Do you get a chance to, I don't know if you played at all, but do you get a chance to play catch or toss a ball around?
Anytime in our off time, yeah. We actually had a tournament at the beginning of the deployment here. And not to brag or anything, but my team, I was the pitcher. We won the tournament. Never pitched before in softball, and they were like, "Hey, we need a pitcher," and went out there and did some good stuff. I actually was a catcher, kind of like Joe Mauer, but I usually play outfield now. But it was pretty awesome. So we play as much as we can.
Chris, you want to say hello to somebody here in the Minnesota area?
Definitely do. My dad, Tim, my mom, Diane, my stepmom, Mickey, and my brother, Jeff. They're all out there probably watching the game. I hope so, at least. I love them a lot, and I can't wait to come home and see them again.
Chris, I've never met you before, but we love you and the guys that and the women out there that you're serving with. We are so totally indebted to you, and we thank you for your service to your country.
Thank you. Don't make me cry, but thank you very much.
A little bit about like Gary Gaetti. Gary Gaetti cries all the time.
Yeah, when he came back from the big rally, yeah. Well, our thanks to Chris Gruber, and we've had 3 guys on here tonight, and the Minnesota contingent, whether it's Wisconsin, anybody in Twins territory, there's not a family I suspect in our viewing audience that doesn't have some contact serving overseas, and we just can't thank those people enough. This has been a real treat to be a part of this here tonight.
Really has.
Not necessarily what's happened on the field. It's 12-1. Patterson at the plate, and he grounds it sharply. Oh, what a great play by Huber! Pitcher covering, safe at first. Patterson beat it up, but a great play by Justin Huber at first. Oh, that's a shame. He could have been on every highlight reel in Australia with that.
Huber from Australia right here. I mean, he goes down that line, makes a great grab, taking over for Justin. And Liriano a little tardy getting over. Remember, Liriano, watch his momentum. He goes toward third base. And that one step cost him right here. as Patterson beats out the hit, but a great play taking an extra base hit away from what's already been a lot of extra base hits for the Oakland A's.
Swing and a miss, Pennington. Justin Huber getting a chance to play in the major leagues, and he has a ball hit to him, and it turns into a sensational play, but unfortunately the Twins couldn't turn it into an out. Patterson, of course, very fleet of foot. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
Patterson getting his 3rd hit of the night. And for the Oakland A's, their 16th.
Laureano had struck out 3 in a row before the infield hit by Patterson. And now he's one good pitch away from striking out Pennington. And a changeup looked like got him. So Laureano with a couple of effective relief innings. And that's especially appreciated on a night like tonight.
Right here. Say hi, Ashton.
Hi.
Waving to all his friends. He's got the most energy of anybody in this building right now in a 12-1 ball game. Ashton and I invite you to stay tuned to Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. Tonight, our instructional is the slider. Roy Smalley, Burt Blyleven going to take you through how a slider is thrown. A's power. We'll talk about how the Oakland A's tonight have powered their way to 12 runs on 16 hits, plus live from Iraq. More coming from all the way from Iraq on tonight's very special 9/11 broadcast. All that and more coming up on Quest Twins Live following this ball game. Dick Bramer?
Well, thank you, Robbie. Here you got me excited there for a while. You were talking about on the instructional, going to be about the slider. I thought it was going to be Rajai Davis and his stolen base with that wonderful slide, and I thought maybe you or Roy Smalley would try to get yourself into the pretzel shape there and slide into second base.
We're going to let Anthony do that if anybody's going to slide.
Span taps it to first, and getting the first hop is Derek Barton. Span quickly retired, 1 away.
Evelyn coming into the ball game, 25 years old. This September call up, but this is his 3rd stint with the A's this year. Made 21 starts down in AAA, Sacramento, 8 wins, 6 losses in 21 starts.
Matt Tolbert, the hitter for the Twins, and he takes inside a ball. Tolbert, and then it'll be the catcher, Jose Morales. Chopper towards the hole. Great stop by Crosby, but Tolbert beats it out. It's an infield hit. Today was Tee It Up for the Troops Day, the 5th annual National Day of Golf in support of the troops. You can get out and golf to celebrate your freedom the remainder of the golf season. You can give a 10% donation over the cost of your greens fees at participating golf courses, and you can do it next year as well. I believe it is the 10th of September next year. Go to www.teeitupforthetroops.com for more information. They'll give you the date for next year, and you can save the date, as they say. Here's Morales, and then we'll have the first major league plate appearance for Justin Huber. Well, it's not his first major league.
Kansas City and the Padres.
That's right. Up and away a ball. 2-0.
Well, Morales a switch hitter. He's hitting .417 as a right-handed hitter. 5 hits in 12 at-bats. Of course, hitting .323 as a lefty. Most of his at-bats have come from the left side of the plate.
Morales pops it up. Thrown by the Twins bullpen. That's out number 2. They played some golf over in Iraq, and Joe said it was Joe Vogel said it gets up to 120, 125 during the afternoon out there.
Well, they get to work on all of their game. It's like a nice course.
Yeah. Muni with low green seed right there, probably, right? 1-0 to Huber.
Now Huber got some at bats with the Royals from 2005, and he gets a base hit right here as a Minnesota Twin. Came into that at bat right there, a career .220 hitter in 159 at bats at the major league level.
Good for him. And now Joe Crede will get a chance to hit here. Getting in the DH spot for Jason Kubel. Ron Gardenhire said of Crede today that ideally bouncer towards the left side, and Crosby flips to second. Crede would get a game as a designated hitter to give him a few at bats before needed in a critical pinch hitting situation. This was not one of those.
You rock, man.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. John Roush into the game. His first pitch cracked into the corner for a leadoff double. So Roush, who had that disappointing game in Toronto, can't get his first pitch to the catcher, and it's another extra base hit for the A's.
Adam Kennedy getting an extra base hit. That means that all 9 starters have at least an extra base hit in tonight's ball game for the Oakland A's. His 23rd double, his second hit of the ball game.
And unless we go extra innings, And it sure doesn't look like we are. A's will have at least one hit in every inning. It's just been a terrible, terrible night for the Twins pitching staff.
It's not only one hit, it's the extra base hits.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time a team has had 1 through 9, the starting lineup, have an extra base hit?
Davis with a 1-1 count.
Yeah, Davis with a single and a double. 2 for 5 so far in the ball game. He scored 1 run.
Fouled away.
Now Roush coming over from the Arizona Diamondbacks on August 28th for a player to be named later. Making his 6th appearance for the Twins. 2 wins and 1 loss already in his first 5 appearances. They give up that 3-run home run to John McDonald in the 6th inning when the Toronto Blue Jays scored 6 runs, and Davis, the strikeout victim.
Technically, they were 2 different transactions, but very much linked. The acquisition of Roush for a player to be named later, and Kevin Mulvey going to the Diamondbacks. Again, technically 2 different transactions, but one was linked to the other. So, in essence, the Twins acquired John Roush for Kevin Mulvey. Mulvey got a little trial with the Twins, and Twins felt he wasn't quite ready. The Diamondbacks in need of some pitching because of some injuries and trades and what have you. So the Twins sent Mulvey Arizona's way. And Roush, as we talked about the number of candidates for the bullpen mix next year, Roush would figure prominently. He's already signed for next year.
Yeah, Mulvey made 2 appearances for the Twins earlier this year in July, and both of them against the Oakland A's. 4 runs in an inning and a third in those 2 appearances.
2-1. There is this. The A's haven't scored since the 6th. Liriano with a couple of effective relief innings. And a miss by Sweeney. With the block. Final 2 games of the series, and the Twins will send out their least experienced pitchers, their rookie pitchers. It'll be Jeff Manship tomorrow, Brian Dunsing on Sunday. Going against Brett Anderson and Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah, so 4 rookies over the next 2 ball games. Morales running out, letting Roush know what sign they're using. Make sure they're on the same page. It's been a long night for that man right there, pitching coach Rick Anderson.
Three and 2. And there's ball 4. Sweeney takes a walk. First and second, 1 away. You can make your way to Sunday's game against the A's and get a gift for your pet, but again, do not bring your pet. The first 10,000 fans on Sunday will get a Twins dog leash, courtesy of Chuck and Don's Pet Food Outlet. Fans are also encouraged to bring pet food that Minnesota Partnerships for Animal Welfare will donate for pets in need. Tickets for Sunday's game are available at twinsbaseball.com. Please come. Please do not.
You cannot bring your pet, huh?
Don't bring your pet. You're going to get a dog leash. Now,
bring your friend, I guess.
Here's Suzuki with 1 strike. And now 1-1. And obviously this is not Suzuki. It is their backup catcher Powell, Landon Powell.
It's like a spring training game
Yep.
now.
Hook foul. Hit a railing, I think. I hope. Yikes.
Powell in his rookie season with the A's. A .254 hitter, a switch hitter, hitting .287 as a left-handed hitter. 5 of his 6 home runs coming from this side of the plate.
1-1 to Powell. Foul back. 1-2. Kansas City in extra innings beat Cleveland 2-1. Royals keep rolling along. She hung around and will head home with a souvenir. One and two. Two and two.
Before I forget, I have to say hello to Sweet Caroline. Lives in Big Lake, Minnesota.
Somebody wrote a song about her.
Yep. So hello, Sweet Caroline.
Little pop up near third base. And out number 2. So Roush hoping to leave a couple of runners aboard. Will now face Jack Cust.
Well, you don't realize what 6'11" is until you stand next to this man. That's a big man right there. 6'11", about 230. Tallest man in Major League history. Luke Van Meel is pitching down in the World Cup for the Dutch team. They lost to Italy the other day, 1-0, and then they beat Italy in exhibition games because they have byes in the first round of the World Cup. They won yesterday 6-3 over Italy.
And where are the games being played again?
They're all over the place. One's one division, one is in Holland, one is in Germany, I believe one is in Sweden, and I don't recall where the other one is.
But all over in Europe.
4 rounds, yes,
Right.
all over in Europe.
Twins have a bunch of prospects playing over there, including Luke Van Meel, who's 7'1", 7'2".
Right.
I think once you're over 7 feet, it doesn't matter, does it?
The USA team actually is playing Venezuela, and I think they have maybe played today, or it's coming up.
Okay.
It's coming up here shortly. In round 1.
Foul back. Cust with a big uppercut swing going after a fastball. Still 2 strikes.
Well, Roush came up with the White Sox back in 2002. He's also pitched for the Montreal Expos and then the Washington Nationals, Arizona Diamondbacks before joining the Twins.
Another nice block by Morales, blocking a pitch in the dirt.
It's not only being 6'11", it's the hand size. I played with Jim Bibby, that's about 6'6", 6'7", and he had huge hands. And you stick that baseball in your hand, a normal size of baseball feels pretty good, but for a guy like that, it looks like a little golf ball in his hand.
Got him looking.
Curveball.
Roush gives up a leadoff double and strands a couple in the ninth.
and my daughter Carmen. I miss you guys and all of you guys. See you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Travis Voles here in Basra, Iraq. Shout out to my family, my wonderful wife Karen, my children, Emma, Brady, and Riley, my parents, my brother and his family, and my aunt and uncles who are watching the Twins game tonight. Have a good day.
Well, that's been the bright spot of this otherwise terrible baseball game, being able to link some of our servicemen and women to their families back home. And now Santiago Casilla will pitch the bottom of the ninth, with the Twins needing just 11 runs to get it tied up.
Yeah, Casilla making his 43rd relief appearance. Very high 5.80 ERA in 45 innings pitched. He does have control problems from time to time. 23 walks into 45 innings for the A's. Casilla in his 6th season with the Oakland A's from the Dominican Republic.
1-1 to Michael Cuddyer would not be the most opportune time for Cuddyer to hit an important home run, but still would like to get career home run number 100 out of the way here. Two and one. Detroit has lost 6-4, but Oakland has beaten up on the Twins pitching staff here tonight. Swing and a foul. 1-2.
Casilla at 28 years old. Originally signed by the A's in 2000. You don't see that too often. An A's pitcher that has been with them for that long a time.
Right. Might have cracked his bat. One and two.
Adam Hansen, the bat boy, ball boy, everything, bringing Cuddyer a new bat.
And a tapper foul. Still 1-2.
A happy camper? Yes.
One and two to Michael Cuddyer. And a hard sinking fastball, one away. And that'll bring up Brian Busher. Busher 0 for 3. Bounced into a double play in the second, lined out in the fifth, and then hit a ground ball to the third baseman in the seventh. Anthony's a strike.
Well, 5 home runs hit here tonight by the Oakland A's. The first time this year they have hit 5 home runs in a ball game.
First time the Twins have given up 5 in a game. 1-1. Two and one. Believe it or not, the Twins had a 1-0 lead after the first at bat of the game. Span hit a leadoff home run. And the next 12 runs went to the A's.
Yeah, Clayton Mortensen really bore down after that. He did a good job. Allowed only 5 hits in 6 innings. Looking for his first major league win here tonight.
2-2.
A lot of good arms out in that Oakland bullpen. They're combined 3.77 ERA. Second best in the American League as far as bullpen ERA.
Crosby bare hands and fires, and Busher beats out an infield hit. That'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Hundreds of thousands of American veterans home from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan often lack access to basic treatments and services needed to help them back into civilian life. They need our help, and now it's our turn to serve. You can visit welcomebackveterans.org for more information. Here's Carlos Gomez with 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. Gomez takes a strike in the inside corner. And foul back 0-2. Gomez with a sharp ground ball single through the hole on the right side of the infield. Something I think the Twins would like to see more of. More hits to the other half of the field for Gomez. They keep waiting for what they hope will be the next step in his development as a well-rounded major leaguer.
That ball getting away from Powell, the catcher, now for the Oakland A's. Should be a wild pitch to Casilla. That's his 5th wild pitch of the year. Allows Brian Busher to move to second base.
Chopper to the left side. And the ball rolls away from Barton. Gomez will reach. Busher will go to third. And we'll see whether they give Busher or give Gomez a hit or an error charge to Pennington.
Well, Pennington's been pretty solid at short right here, trying to hurry his throw because of the speed of Gomez. A little two-seamer right off the tip of the glove of Barton. See the movement on that ball right there. That ball getting away.
This shortstop thing didn't work out for Pennington. It put him on the mound. Wow.
Well, they're doing that with Tony Pena Jr.
Right.
That's one thing that Tony Pena Jr. with the Kansas City Royals, he went down and becoming a pitcher. He said, well, all the throws that I threw from short always had movement on it. So he figured that, he's going to do okay on the mound. Error will be charged to Pennington, his 2nd of the season at short.
Well, here's what we're left with, folks. The battle of the Casillas. And Alexi wins it. Busher scores and Casilla slaps a single to left, driving in the second Twins run.
Well, Casilla picking up his 16th RBI, slapping the ball past the diving Crosby at third base. Gomez stopping at second base. So the Twins scoring for the first time since Bernard Span led off the ball game with a home run.
Rally caps, you're always saying you cannot give a major league team extra outs. Right?
A 12-2 game.
This would be the ultimate example of that.
Again, you know what? I mean, the Twins are probably going to lose this ball game, okay? But it is momentum. You can see the Twins are not giving up, and that's a good thing. You know, they're just not up there just swinging. They're saying, hey, you know what? We're going to fight until the final out, and that's the way you want your club to be.
Span with a home run in the first inning sends in 3 ground balls to the right side. Outside a ball. Mauer and Morneau long taken out of this game. Joe finishing the night 1 for 2 with a walk. Seattle and Texas, by the way, postponed. So Ichiro won't have any hits or plate appearances at all. They'll probably try to make that up as a split doubleheader tomorrow, I would imagine.
Well, that could be what, the Texas's 3rd doubleheader. They had a couple last week.
Rally caps on overseas. 1-1 to Span. Two and 1. Jeff Gray warming up in case Casilla can't take care of business here in the ninth. Span hoping to get a second hit here tonight. He'd like to get his batting average creeping back upward after seeing it take a hit the last day or two. Three and one. Casilla threw Cuddyer a nasty 95-mile-per-hour sinker and struck him out. Since then, Butcher got an infield hit. Gomez reached on an error. Casilla with an RBI single to left, and now 3-1 to Span. And they're loaded up. And that'll bring up Matt Tolbert.
Well, Tolbert got an infield base hit in last inning. Taking over for Orlando Cabrera at short.
Strike on the inside corner. The Angels lead the White Sox 2-1, bottom of the fourth inning in Anaheim.
Yeah, speaking of the Angels, we want to congratulate Torrey Hunter winning the Branch Rickey Award.
Yeah.
Yep. For his community service, working with kids. He's brought a lot of the tradition that he learned here in Minnesota out to Anaheim, and very, very happy for Torrey Hunter. He gives a lot back to the community.
2-1 to Tolbert, and still does in Minnesota. He's got a scholarship fund established yet here in Minnesota. Finally got started after some rain in New York. Derek Jeter got a hit, so congratulations to Derek Jeter. He passed Luke Gehrig on the Yankee all-time hit list.
Couldn't have happened to a better player, too, Derek Jeter. Just a class act. He's handled that media as good as anybody could in New York.
Fouled back by Tolbert, 2-2. I would have to say I don't have a vote. You don't have a vote, but I would have to say that Derek Jeter would get mine as American League MVP.
Yeah, Mark Teixeira's having a good year over there, too. But I agree. I mean, he's kind of the catalyst of that ball club.
Couple are going to score here with Tolbert battling for an RBI single that drives in two.
Hey, keep battling. You never know. Tolbert right there picking up his second hit. And the Oakland A's are going to be making a pitching change.
Twins needed like back in the 4th or 5th inning, and they could have done maybe what Oakland did to them out there.
Yeah, Matt Tolbert right there driving in his 13th and 14th run. And that makes Bob Guerin come out and make a pitching change. Jeff Gray coming into the ball game, his 4th stint this season with the Oakland A's, making his 17th relief appearance.
Morales flips it down the left field line, and that's going to fall for a hit. Another run's going to score. And it's 12-5. Well, I'm sure a lot of Twins fans remember how this all happened in a terribly lopsided game in Oakland. The difference was the A's had an inning like this, forget whether it was the 4th or the 5th, and they kept going and kept having innings like that, and before you knew it, the Twins couldn't close it down, and the A's came back from 10 down to win. Here the Twins started this rally with 1 out in the 9th.
Kurt Young, the pitching coach, coming out.
And here's what happened. It was Nick Blackburn first, and Bobby Keppel and Matt Holliday hit a grand slam. Jack Cust on the first pitch from Jose Majares. And then this crazy play where Michael Cuddyer came back from second base, tried to score, and we all thought he did score, but Michael Wirtz put the tag on him. And a horrible ending to a horrible game. Here's Huber, who singled his first time up as a Twin. Swing and a miss.
Good sinking fastball right there by Gray. He'll mix in a slider, curveball, and the changeup.
On the bag for an out and across the diamond to end the game. So Huber hits into a game-ending double play, and the Twins end up losing 12-5.
Well, you hate losing a ball game like that, but the Twins were able to come back and put 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th.